My dearest Jane, I hope all is well back at home. I think about you and little Jack every day. I wish I could be there with you. I know times are tough. It isn't easy raising a boy on your own. But I'm confident you are doing amazing and being the best mother our little Jack could ask for. You are incredible and a blessing in all that you do. Since the day our eyes met for the first time, you have kept my thoughts captured in your midst. Your warm smile could fuel the hearts of 1,000 of my fellow shivering soldiers. Your presence lights any room, and people flock to be engulfed in the love you radiate. I love you. I love you. I love you. Now I know that you want to hear from me. Well, things have definitely been better. After landing on Omaha Beach, people praised us for achieving a great victory for the Allies. The Allies may have won, but I still feel lost. It was a living nightmare. I can still hear the jaw-rattling clangs as the German pillboxes riddled my landing craft's door with an endless stream of bullets as we approached the shore. I can still see the countless men hunched over, gently cradling what remains of their organs in their hands. I can smell the burning flesh of the men engulfed in the fireball explosion that came from our compromised flamethrower. I can see Private Kelly trip and fall to the ground, like he always did in boot camp. Except this time, he never got up. I can see, I can hear, I can smell, and I can sense all these horrible, horrible things. But the only thing I want to smell, I want to hear, and I want to see is you.
I miss you. I long for you. Until we meet again, I am forever yours. Norman. Whew. Heavy stuff. June 10th, 1944. Must have gotten lost in the mail. No wonder. It never got delivered. He forgot the correct stamps. Oh, I didn't see you there. My name is Mike, but most people call me Mike the Mailman. That's right, I am a mailman. Some people ask me, Mike, how does it feel working in a dying industry? Or, how can you be so cheerful? You're just a messenger, enslaved to the government. Well, little do they know that in my opinion, a mailman should be one of the most admired jobs out there. A mailman's example does more than just show people how to deliver mail. Open the door, close the door. A mailman is a human. Wait, hold on. To be human is to be like a mailman. Now, hear me out. People love mailmen. Not the average ones that sit in their mailmobile and never have any interaction with the people. Interaction is key. The bonds that we, the professional mailmen, build when we hand-deliver the mail is crucial. We have a connection, something that no one else has exactly the same. We have a unique and individualized link. We have a relationship. Relationships aren't as complicated as society portrays them to be. We all have relationships, positive or negative. It's as simple as just two people sharing a connection. Well, that reminds me of one of my favorite books, Chang Renli's Native Speaker. In it, John Quang begins to develop a strong connection to Henry. I want to know what you see. I believe I can trust you. As a Korean American running for a government position, Quang feels very exposed and isolated in this not-so-native land. The relationship with Henry acts as a catalyst that allows Quang to break down his own barriers and reveal an identity different than the one he presents to his campaign team and potential voters. Through this relationship, Quang truly reveals himself. In this crucial change of mindset, Quang recognizes that relationships are extremely important in life. He realizes that we humans are all in the same boat, and we all need to help everyone to stay afloat. Without relationships with one another, we are seemingly lost in the wilderness. Life is no longer a cooperative experience where we share moments of joy, or excitement, or sadness, or frustration, or denial. Instead, we're all on our own. In Hughie Lee Smith's painting, Desert Forms, we can clearly see the impact that isolation has on humans. As you look at the two humans, you can see there is no connection between the two. They're both staring at the bleak, distant horizon, looking to what the uncertain future holds for them. Both of them are staring straight ahead towards the same destination, but they aren't looking at each other, even though they share a common goal and direction. They choose the journey alone, isolated and lonely. The two broken poles accentuates the meaning of isolation and the lack of relationships as they symbolize the two individuals in the painting. Both the poles and the people are broken. The poles can no longer serve their purpose and shine from their missing lights, and the people are journeying, looking for something, looking for purpose. But even though they're all broken, both the poles and the people are still standing. Even though they don't have a purpose, they're still there, just a faint idea of what they could be. For the poles and the people aren't standing together, they are standing alone. Their lack of relationship leaves them without purpose, simply exposed to life. But imagine what it could be if they were together, if they shared a connection. Those two poles, broken without purpose, could join together with that ribbon and become a finish line, a favorite and well-loved object of any sort of competitor. And the two people, who knows? Maybe their relationship would be awful. Maybe they would hate each other. Or maybe they would connect. Maybe together they could begin their journey to finding out what love is. Because through relationships, we can find our better half. We can find our true love. But what is love? Well, that is something that even a knowledgeable and prestigious mailman struggles to understand. But I know it's out there. And I know that relationships help me find it. Another favorite book of mine, Voltaire's Candide, exactly shows how relationships can lead to love. After Cunegonde was raped and her family brutally killed, Cunegonde describes her experiences to Candide and then says that above all, my mind dwelt on the kiss you gave me behind the screen that day. While it is hard to believe this to be true, that very brief but clearly impactful connection that occurred between Candide and Cunegonde causes her to constantly think of him through trials and tribulations. I don't know about you, but to me, that sounds like Cunegonde has a serious obsession with Candide. Being a mailman, I don't have much time for love. It's the price I have to pay so your mailboxes can remain chock full of college letters and your parents' bills. But I do know this obsession Cunegonde feels for Candide is at least the basis for a loving relationship. This longing she has for Candide came all from a simple connection. But that's just it. That's the power of relationships. The tiniest connection can have such an impact on someone, even bringing about something incredible, like love. Untitled Number 90 by Cindy Sherman shows effectively how a relationship, no matter how small, can bring about love. As shown in this picture, love hurts. The young girl is staring at their phone, longing for it to ring. Both eyes are locked in focus, but her mind seems to be elsewhere. The lack of color in her eyes shows that her being, her personality, is elsewhere. Maybe she's in a dream where the phone does ring, and whatever she's longing for is fulfilled. The artist gives no hints in the title for what she's longing for, but I believe that's the point. The audience is able to choose her situation. It could be that she's waiting for her lover to pick her up. She looks well dressed, ready to head out and enjoy a night out on the town with her lover. But her lover never showed up, and the girl is deflated, and she lays down on the couch and dreams of what they could have been. Or maybe the phone did ring. Maybe the phone rang, but it didn't bear good news. The love of her life is dead, tragically and unexpectedly killed. The redness around her eyes emphasizes her despair as she cried from the shocking news. And now, the dark shadows over her eyes reflect the emptiness inside her, as she is left to dream of what her future holds without her lover. That's gotta be tough. Being without your lover. Being separated in a loving relationship is one of the hardest things one can go through. And it's like Norman in that letter. He loves Jane, loves her with his entire being. His existence revolves around Jane, little Jack. Without this relationship, Norman would have no motivation to persevere through the horrors of war. Oh, cut off my legs and call me Shorty. I've got it. To be a mailman entitles more than just building relationships. It it requires perseverance. I mean, our mailman creed is, neither snow nor rain nor heat nor gloom of night stays these couriers from the swift completion of their appointed rounds. In more common language, nothing is going to stop us from delivering your mail. Even though it may not be an official creed, all of us professional mailmen treat it like law. It's just part of the job. To be a mailman, you need perseverance through unpredictability. And life is filled with unpredictability. For some of you, it could be your alarm didn't go off in the morning and you're late for school. Lucky for you, it's a late start. But for others, they might not know if they get hungry or they get the luxury of eating supper tonight. For some, graduation is only a possibility for them as they juggle 4 Apex classes. But regardless of the circumstances, we all have something that gives us the strength to persevere. In Anthony Burgess's A Clockwork Orange, Alex finds his strength while in prison through his love for classical music. What I dreamt of, oh my brothers, was of being in some very big orchestra, hundreds and hundreds strong, and the conductor was a like mixture of Ludwig van and G.F. Handel. Alex is in one of the worst situations of his life. He's put in this human zoo for 2 years, being abused by brutal bully wardens and meeting criminals, some of them real perverts, and ready to dribble all over a luscious young Malchik like your storyteller. But Alex perseveres, fueled by the melodies of Ludwig and other classical composers. The classical music becomes a means of escape for Alex. He's able to persevere in this harsh prison environment because with the music, he isn't really there. He's in his own little world shared with Ludwig, Handel, and Beethoven. In Thomas Benton's painting, Cotton Pickers, we can clearly see a situation depicted where perseverance is a necessity. These cotton pickers are hard at work, even though their job is physically strenuous and the environment is harsh. The sky is fairly barren of clouds, showing how the sun would be beating down on them as they meticulously picked and picked and picked. For some, their strength in persevering comes from the love of their children. Right over there, we can see a small child lying in the shade, protected from the sun. The mother had to persevere through not only tirelessly picking the scorching cotton fields, but also caring for a young child. We can also see a young man kneeling as he drinks refreshing water from the cup. His strength for persevering comes from his dignity. He brings the cup up to his face before he drinks. This mirrors Gideon's army from the Bible, where the chosen soldiers were selected because they brought the water to their face to drink, while the rejected soldiers had gone on all fours and lapped at the water like a dog. This man is still upright on his 2 legs. He's not defeated, laying down on the ground like an animal. But he has every right to take a break. He has to be in excruciating pain from his back, leaning over day after day picking cotton. But instead, his self-worth keeps him upright, motivating him to continue on and survive. And we all have our different ideals or dreams or people that keep us persevering. And we all have our fair share of trials. But that begs the question, do we have to persevere alone? Do we each have our own unique struggle that no one else has? Well, as a mailman, I have my fair share of mail bros that also aid me in my daily job of delivering mail. On those days that aren't so cheerful, those days when the rain is pouring down or I just don't feel up to the challenge, I know that my mail bros are out there to support me and help me persevere. Being alone definitely makes it easier to give up. That cotton picker right there, if he was by himself, with no one bearing the mental and physical load with him, he'd feel much more apt to just quit. But we persevere together. The latest book I read, hey, I can see your faces. I know I read a lot, but I enjoy literature. Why else would I, a mailman, be wanting to talk to your class right now? Anyway, the latest book I read, Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness, really showed me how persevering alone through unpredictability can negatively affect your life. Marla learns that, as a rule, Kurtz wandered alone, far in the depths of the forest. This isolation in the unpredictable African wilderness leads to the obvious mental deterioration of Kurtz. But this madness that comes from persevering alone is not exclusive to Kurtz. We can see this mental deterioration in modern times through prisoners being placed too long in solitary confinement or hermits that live separated from society. Kurtz's entire persona just shows to the extreme how being alone through hardships can hurt you. Now, I'm not saying that being alone through hardships is a guaranteed pitfall, but through persevering together, you're no longer a single man versus an entire army. You join together and persevere through the same situation. Hey, wait! That was quite unpredictable, so I'll have to persevere without it. Oh, perfect. Who needs a projector when you have mail? A couple days ago, one of my favorite customers handed me this letter. It had no address to send to, but I could see he already knew this. Dear Dad, how are you? It's been a while since we chatted. This is only the second time I've written to you. For me, it's crazy how life has been moving along. Senior year is coming to a close, and I'll soon be retiring from my high school career. It's been a fun ride, and I'm thankful for the journey. I may have been missing my role model, who always had the best advice, but I survived. As cliche as it sounds, the friends I've made, the friends I've lost, the things I've done, and the things I haven't done, have all made these past 4 years unforgettable, to say the least. I think you would have been proud. Mom has been doing amazing. She's the epitome of a survivor. Her perseverance during and after our hardship is almost impossible to believe. You both encouraged Alec, Ashlyn, and I to keep focused on our schoolwork and activities, even as you suffered setbacks and hospitalizations. Both of you just tried to keep life normal. I know I spent the most time with you through this because I was the youngest, and let's face it, 7th grade homework is basically non-existent. I helped you tape cling wrap over your head wound so you could shower and keep it dry. I slept in the basement next to you to make sure you were okay, and to just spend more time with you. I watched you as you persevered through it all the chemo, all the pain, all the new procedures, just for the chance, any chance that you could spend more time with your family. I watched as your body rejected new treatments and your body began to spasm. I just watched his mom call for the ambulance and kept talking to you to make sure you were okay. I watched as the neighborhood, as the red and blue lights lit up our cul-de-sac at 2 a.m., and then I watched him leave, returning our neighborhood back to darkness. And I watched your tears as you passed away on April 28th, 2011. But I know you watched over me too. I know you watched as I graduated from 8th grade and I began high school. I know you watched with joy as I submerged myself into the music program, something that you love so much. You watched as I transitioned to your voice range my freshman year, bass 2, and made madrigals my sophomore year. You watched as I made honors all-state choir my junior year, and I got a lead role my senior year in musical. I know you watched with pride. You watched as I tried out for soccer and I didn't make the cut, but I know you watched with a smile. It's been tough adjusting to life without your wisdom, your love, your humor. It's been tough adjusting to life without you. But hey, it's been 5 years, and they'll just have to accept me for whatever I figured out from your example. Take it or leave it. It's been real, and it feels good to talk to you. Until we meet again, love, Reid. Who would have thought that being a mailman is such an emotional job? You should have seen me when I first read this. I was crying so much, you probably would have thought that I was the one who wrote it. Just as you can't judge a book by its cover, I bet you didn't expect a mailman to teach you about life. Now you know that being a human is being like a... Oh, wait. I am 22 minutes and 21 seconds behind my schedule. To be human is to be like a mailman. Building relationships and persevering through unpredictability. Good thing I didn't say anything about mailman being on time. Okay, well, thanks for letting me talk to you kids. Oh, here it is, a package for a Mr. David Feeney. Now where could he be?